What would you do if you knew one vote changed everything? The 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year voting should have been straightforward, right? Caitlin Clark dominated the season, shattered records, and won over fans across the league.
Honestly, it's been a lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. It's unacceptable, honestly.
Yet, there was one odd, unexpected vote, a single vote that kept her from becoming the WNBA's fifth ever unanimous Rookie of the Year. And that vote went to Angel Reese. Why?
And we all know what this really is. It's an attack on Caitlin Clark.
Many fans are outraged, not because Caitlin Clark didn't win, she did, but because someone thought it was necessary to deny her the honor of a unanimous victory. So, who cast that lone vote, and why does it even matter? For context, the NBA's voting process is transparent. Voters are publicly accountable for their decisions. If someone makes a bold or controversial choice, the world knows exactly who it is and why. But in the WNBA, the process remains anonymous. And it's this secrecy that has left everyone wondering, who could possibly deny Caitlin Clark her rightful place as a unanimous Rookie of the Year? And while we may never get the official answer, the speculation has landed on one name, Alyssa Thomas. Yes, Alyssa Thomas, a seasoned veteran of the league and someone who's never shied away from voicing her opinions. But this time, those opinions may have gone too far. The fallout of one vote. Let's be real, this wasn't just a vote. It was a statement. A statement that seemed less about talent and more about making a point. After all,
now they found another victim. The fans of Indiana. Now, I'm gonna side a little bit with these idiots, but who gives a rat's ass, seriously?
How do you watch Caitlin Clark dominate the league, breaking rookie records, putting up numbers that even veterans struggle to match, and decide that she doesn't deserve a unanimous vote?
It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it.
And let's not forget, Angel Reese herself has been involved in controversies throughout the season, most notably with her vocal criticisms of Caitlin Clark and Clark's fan base.
Basketball is headed in a great direction, but nah, we don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us racial names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect.
Reese has publicly stated that Clark's popularity is largely driven by her being white, something that has sparked debates about race in the WNBA. With this backdrop, Alyssa Thomas's lone vote feels less like an unbiased choice and more like a continuation of a racially charged narrative. Alyssa Thomas, a history of controversy. Alyssa Thomas is no stranger to controversy. She's often been vocal about race, fairness, and equality in the league. While these are important issues, her latest move appears to have taken things in the wrong direction. Instead of recognizing Clark's phenomenal season, it seems like this was a personal jab, a way to make a point about race and representation. But in doing so, Thomas has only fueled the flames of division in the WNBA. This vote wasn't just about who deserved the Rookie of the Year title. It was about sending a message. And what message did Alyssa Thomas send? That personal agendas can override objective talent evaluations. The reaction from fans and analysts. As soon as the vote was announced, social media erupted. Fans flooded Twitter, Instagram, and forums, questioning the credibility of the WNBA's voting process. Many were left scratching their heads, asking how someone could look at Caitlin Clark's season and not consider her a unanimous choice. Even analysts, like Andrea Carter, have called for greater transparency in the voting process, echoing the sentiments of fans who feel that the current system lacks accountability. The internet lit up with theories about why Thomas would cast such a vote. Was it out of jealousy? Did she feel threatened by Clark's rising stardom? Or was it simply a move to boost Reese as some form of protest against the overwhelming praise Clark has received? The truth remains unclear. But what is clear is that this single vote has cast a shadow over the WNBA's credibility. Racial bias or personal vendetta? It's hard to ignore the racial undertones in this situation. Clark's rise to stardom has been met with criticism from some corners of the league, with accusations that her success is bolstered by her race. But is that really fair? Shouldn't success in sports be measured by skill, stats, and performance on the court? Caitlin Clark's numbers speak for themselves. She was the most blitzed player in the WNBA this season, facing double and triple teams regularly, yet she still averaged 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. These are staggering stats for a rookie, especially in a league as competitive as the WNBA. Clark didn't just break rookie records, she broke records set by veterans with years of experience. How can anyone reasonably deny her the honor of being a unanimous Rookie of the Year? Yet, Alyssa Thomas did, and that decision has opened the door to questions about bias, not just racial bias, but personal bias. Was Thomas trying to send a message about the league's representation, or was this a personal vendetta against a player who, in her eyes, might have been getting too much attention? The WNBA's silence speaks volumes. What makes this situation even worse is the WNBA's silence. The league has yet to make any formal statement addressing the controversy, leaving fans and analysts in the dark. This lack of transparency is only fueling the fire, leading to even more speculation about whether the voting process is rigged or influenced by personal biases. Fans are now questioning the integrity of the WNBA's awards system. If one vote can be cast for reasons other than talent and performance, what does that say about the league's credibility? How can players trust that their hard work and dedication will be fairly rewarded if personal agendas are allowed to seep into the voting process? Caitlin Clark's legacy. At the end of the day, Caitlin Clark still walks away with the Rookie of the Year award, but the controversy surrounding that one vote has tarnished what should have been a moment of pure celebration. Instead of focusing on Clark's incredible season, the narrative has shifted to questioning the integrity of the voting process. 10 years from now, no one may remember that Clark wasn't a unanimous Rookie of the Year. What they will remember are her record-breaking performances, her dominance on the court, and her ability to change the game. But for now, this controversy hangs over her like a dark cloud, and it's all because of one vote. Moving forward, what needs to change? If there's one thing this debacle has taught us, it's that the WNBA needs to make some changes. For starters, the league should follow the NBA's example and make the voting process transparent. If voters were held accountable for their decisions, we'd have fewer controversies like this one. Voters should be willing to stand by their choices and explain their reasoning, especially when those choices go against the obvious. Secondly, the league needs to address the issue of bias head-on, whether it's racial bias, personal bias, or any other kind of bias. It has no place in sports. Awards should be given based on merit, not on personal vendettas or social agendas. In the end, this controversy isn't just about Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, it's about the integrity of the game. If the WNBA wants to be taken seriously as a professional league, it needs to ensure that its voting processes are fair, transparent, and free from bias, because at the end of the day, sports should be about talent, effort, and performance, nothing else.